Yo, Tyler, where was your first kiss?
Hey man, that's personal. Hey Raj, who was your first crush?
Hey man, that's personal. Hey man, that's personal. We're getting personal with your cold emails today on Full Fun. Hey everyone, I'm Raj Nation, he's Tyler Lessard, and you're watching Full Funnel, the weekly show that if it were a cooking show, well, Tyler, you'd be chopped. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Why? Because this is the only program faster than Domino's where we take one hot sales topic and slice it 3 ways, then deliver it fresh to you in under 10 minutes. Today's order? Personalizing your cold emails. Top Funnel. Today, we're not just taking one hot sales topic and slicing it 3 ways, we're taking one cold email and slicing it 3 ways. And guess what? It's my cold email. I'm putting myself on the chopping block. So here's an email that I sent to this gentleman named Peter, and it started like this. Hey, Peter, saw you also liked this person's post on this company scaling to $10 million. Did you catch where he said success is most indicative of their team executing on their vision? Asking because I clicked around your company and this seems relevant. Tyler, what's your reaction? What's your feedback as you read that?
Well, first of all, I do feel that this is a just delicious opening sentence to the email, Raj. I think you nailed it. One of the things that I like about it is the specificity in the personalization. I get a lot of emails myself where that first line is, hey, I noticed such and such. And it's the same sentence they could have written to just about anybody. But in this case, you were very specific in a post that they were involved with. And then you actually asked a really unique question that also proved you had absolutely been a part of that post as well. So love that specificity. That's one thing I like about it.
That is the exact angle I wanted to go. And I love behavior-based personalization whenever it's possible. And there's a couple micro things that I did to help even further the cause. For example, the use of the word also at the beginning implies that we've both done the same thing, which there now creates a little bit of familiarity as a result. It's not like I'm lying because that person could go and reference, I did also like that post, right? So it's very clear. The other thing too is using the content itself, as you said, to kind of like tee up the email. It's not just, hey, saw you liked this post, buy my stuff, right? It's saw you liked this. Did you catch this specific part of the post? So now I can get the person thinking a little bit. Now, if there's one thing I would change in retrospect, that second line there, I think is good, but it could definitely be better. Asking because I clicked around your site and this seems relevant. Like, it's fine, it's passable. But if I were gonna write this again, the way I would improve it would be to just tailor that a little bit more and say something like asking because, insert additional metric or additional measure about their company.
What was it that you noticed on my site that made it relevant, Raj? Tell me, and I'll keep reading.
Mid-fun. After a personalized intro, let's see where the email went next. In my convos with other companies, the CEO will tell me they're obsessed with standing out, but their sales messaging and demo calls end up being a parade of product features instead of delivering the vision. In turn, they get unfairly lumped in with their competitors, even though their brand is unique. I help growing companies scale towards their next 5, 10, 20 million, etc. goal without making product or marketing changes. Here's a quick video where I remix the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air explaining how it's done. All right, Tyler, what's your reaction when you see that?
Well, again, I like how you have tied the reason for your outreach back to that initial personalization. It doesn't feel like a bait and switch of I noticed this, and by the way, this has nothing to do with why I'm reaching out to you. So I think that's a really nice job of tying in the theme and making it relevant to me as to how this thread goes. And I mean, how could I not click on a video of you as the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Great job in creating curiosity.
Well, what you mentioned was really what I was truly going for, which was how do I tie the main part of this email to what's in the introduction of this email? Because I could have just opened up and said, hey, saw you like this piece of content. Did you notice this part about it? And then write an email that has nothing to do with that. And I say I could do that because I have a lot of emails in my inbox right now that do that exact thing. So that word vision, I was very careful to tie it back in to the problem statement, right? We opened with, hey, did you notice this part about successfully executing on vision equals scale? And so then I brought back in the problem this issue of how the vision you may have at the CEO level is not translating to what the sales and marketing team is doing on a day-to-day basis. And since I already at the beginning highlighted how vision equals scale, it just reinforces that, oh man, maybe we should be thinking more about what the vision is and how we're executing that on a day-to-day basis.
This approach makes the personalization feel genuine And it actually proves you took the time to really write this message, and it's not just a copy paste that everyone gets.
Bottom fun. So after selling the value proposition, where did the email close out? This has worked especially well for companies like A and B, companies with unique offerings and typically multiple stakeholder deals. Seems like this is a perfect time for your company. Are you interested? Raj from Startup Hype Man. What I want to point out here is how it's really easy to say, here's our success with these companies who experience this % conversion or this lift, whatever it might be. But I think a lot of times, even though ROI is God, as many people like to say, if you come out too hard with that ROI, it actually has a backfire effect. Which is why I like to have a little bit more qualitative ROI and just show more than anything why they might associate with those other kinds of companies. Because I, in my research, can make a reasonable assumption that this is a company that has multiple stakeholder deals and has a unique offering. So it's being able to create an environment of relatability to the proof points.
Dude, I love you for saying this because I, at least personally, I detest we've helped this company increase this by 200%. It immediately feels like a sales pitch, right? You've now taken it from this interesting conversation where you're connecting with me and adding value to I'm like, oh, right, I almost forgot this person's trying to sell me. So I love taking that out. But here's one other really interesting tip to hyper-personalize this type of a sentence. Instead of saying, I've helped company A and B, try something like, I've helped this individual at this company, who, by the way, is in the same role as you, solve this problem and maybe even got a promotion. Find an individual at that company who has the same role as them. If they're part of your success story, include that person, not just the company, and see how personal it gets with your new prospect.
Taking down that note right now.
Raj, this was a great example. Thank you for sharing it. But one thing, I did notice you broke a lot of the standard rules. This email was relatively long, lots of links, multiple questions. What's going on here, man?
You make the rules and I will break them. I don't care about 4 lines or less. I've never been an advocate of that. And I think you can have 4 lines and they can be really bad. And I'd rather have 12, 14 lines that are good than 4 lines that are bad. I use a question at the beginning and a question at the end. And there's a main link and also a bunch of links in the footer as well. You can break some of the traditional rules and still have a successful cold email if what you're saying has value to that person and it's worth their time to read and it has the right hook or personalization up front. Why do I say that and how can I prove that? Well, let's look at how this Peter responded. Okay, no, let's give the real one. Let's see how he actually responded. Rajiv, I never bite on SDR emails of any outreach, but you hit a nerve on a hatred I have about demos and feature battles. Let's chat. But wait, Tyler, it didn't stop there because he then, a few minutes later, wrote a LinkedIn post about the email where he actually outlined what makes a good email. And he said, this is the first time I'm replying in 14 months to an outreach email. And he said, what worked well? Personalize the email. He made it relevant. He looked at our website. He hit a nerve. And he made this video to explain basically what his email said. Congratulations, Raj. You pulled a 1 in 14 month ticket. Our funnel is full. We hope you can get back out there now and fill up yours. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe before you head out of here. He is Tyler Lassard. I'm Raj Nation. This concludes Full Funnel Season 1. We're taking a mini break, but we will come back better, stronger, faster, and hotter than ever. So until then, we will catch you on the other side. But remember, hit save before quitting the game.